One day, in a small village, there lived a little girl called Ngozi. Ngozi was from a poor but happy family that valued education and self-worth. Ngozi's parents made sure they brought her up in a way that would make her happy and respected, despite the fact that they were poor among the rest of the villagers. Ngozi's parents loved and cared for her so much that she was the only treasure they had after a marriage of 14 years. So they promised to make her a successful person in their community. Ngozi's father had a very large portion of land that he inherited from his own father, but this land had been an issue between Ngozi's father and his brother, Mr. Chekwu. Ngozi's father was not ready to give up on the land because it was given to him by his father, and that was the only reason he was surviving, but his brother, Mr. Chekwu, who was richer, wanted the land by all means, which led to a total fight. One day, Ngozi's mother prepared dinner and served her husband with the food. While her husband was eating, she began to advise him. "Please, my husband, I don't like the way you and your brother, Mr. Chekwu, are fighting over that land. Please just leave the land for him, if that will end the problem," she said. "What? You want me to give my only land to my brother, the land my father gave to me right in his presence? Do you know that land is the reason why we are eating in this house?" Mr. Onyeka said to his wife. "Yes, I know my husband, but if it is bringing problems, then just leave it to him. God knows the best," Mrs. Onyeka said to her husband. "Please allow me to eat this food in peace. If my brother continues to fight me, I will take this issue to the village elders," Mr. Onyeka said. "Please do so, my husband, take it to the village council, so this problem will be solved once and for all," Mrs. Onyeka said. Ngozi just sat down. As little as she was, she saw how sad her father was, and she knew that the land belonged to her father. "Papa, don't worry, the land belongs to you, and the village elders will support you in this matter," Ngozi said. "Ah, my little child, you are such a brave girl, my God will guide you," Ngozi's father said to her little girl. The next day, Ngozi's father and his family went to farm on their land. While they were working on the land, Mr. Chekwu, Ngozi's uncle, came and started chasing them out of the land. "How many times have I warned you to stay out of this land?" "Don't try me," Mr. Chekwu said. "You cannot chase me out of my own land. This land was given to me by our father, and you know that," Mr. Onyeka replied. "If I ever see you in this land again, I repeat, if I ever see you in this land again, you will not like what I will do to you," Mr. Chekwu said and left with so much anger. "My husband, please just leave this land to your brother," Ngozi's mother said, crying. "Shut up your mouth, I cannot live in this land for him, I can't. In fact, I'm going to report him to our village council now," Mr. Onyeka said, leaving the farm. Mr. Onyeka went and made the report to the village council, and they invited Mr. Chekwu for a meeting. "My elders, this problem between Mr. Onyeka and Mr. Chekwu is becoming too much. Let's bring this issue to an end," one of the elders said. So these elders discussed for a long time. They battled over who was the rightful owner of the land. Well, after everything, it was announced that the land was owned rightfully by Mr. Onyeka, Ngozi's father. Mr. Chekwu, Ngozi's uncle, was very sad with the elders' decision. "I will never allow my brother to take that land. If he wins the case physically, then take it to a spiritual fight," Mr. Chekwu said. Some days later, Mr. Onyeka and his family went again to farm peacefully on their land since the problem had been resolved. While they were farming, suddenly Mr. Onyeka and his wife began coughing in a strange way. Ngozi's was surprised. "Mama, Papa, why are the both of you coughing like that?" "That cough doesn't sound normal to me," Ngozi said worriedly. But soon the cough increased to the point where both parents fell to the ground and began struggling to breathe. "Mama! Mama, Papa, what is going on? Please talk to me," Ngozi said, and she began crying for help. She ran out of the farm and ran back immediately. She was confused about whether she should stay with her parents or go and call for help. "Mama, please talk to me," Ngozi said, crying. Some passers-by who saw the incident quickly ran to the scene, but all their attempts to save lives were in vain. Ngozi's parents stopped breathing, and the both of them died right on that farmland. Ngozi was a child, but she knows what death means. She cried and rolled herself on the ground till she got tired. Her parents' deaths were not normal, but no one could speak. Ngozi knew that her uncle, Mr. Chekwu, must be the one behind their deaths. Well, both parents were buried immediately the next day, leaving all the villagers to cry bitterly because Mr. Onika was a simple and generous person in the community. Well, Ngozi, who was 8 years old, had to go and live with his uncle because she had no other relatives to rely on. That was where Ngozi saw hell and suffered upon suffering. Follow this channel to be notified for the next episode.